live.
Good evening and welcome to the Tahoe-Truckee Unified School District Board meeting of August 16th. The board did meet in closed session and there was no reportable action taken. At this point, we will have a Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Superintendent, Chief Learning Officer.
Let's approve the agenda first.
Oh, let's approve the agenda. Well, I was going to ask that. Are there any changes to the agenda? Kirsten Kramer, sorry. Are there any changes to the agenda?
President Jola, there are no changes this evening.
Would anyone please care to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented? I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, sorry, I'll go. At this point, it's public comment, and I do have one public comment request here. And at this point, public comment is for 3 minutes, and I will ask Kira Scott to come up here to this podium. Did I say it right, Kira? Perfect, welcome.
Is this working? Yes. Okay. Good evening. My name is Kira Scott, and I'm an incoming senior at Truckee High School. I'm here tonight to speak on behalf of the Tahoe Youth Action Team about the resolution for energy efficiency, clean energy, and carbon neutrality that we presented at the April 26th board meeting. This resolution, which outlined goals relating to energy auditing and decarbonization retrofits, among others, has helped inspire and guide other youth-led student school electrification initiatives across the country. While we recognize the current efforts of TTUSD to focus on sustainability, we would like to remind you that this district has the opportunity to be a pioneer for more extensive school electrification and carbon reduction efforts. We encourage you to ride the wave of rising awareness and extensive funding sources that are currently emerging to support climate action. Historic climate wins, like the ruling in the Held v. Montana case, illustrate the receptiveness to youth's demands for change. In this case, the court ruled in favor of 16 youth plaintiffs and declared that the state of Montana had violated their rights on the basis of its contributions to climate change. The court also stated that, quote, plaintiffs had proven that as children and youth, they are disproportionately harmed by fossil fuel pollution and climate impacts. We are hopeful that the new school year will bring renewed motivation to enact lasting change in the district and collaborate with local concerned youth on climate solutions. We would like to express our gratitude for your openness with our team so far and are looking forward to working with you further. If possible, we would like to request that the school board appoints a liaison to streamline communication between the district and the Tahoe Youth Action Team. We're really interested in discussing current district sustainability efforts and the facilities master plan to create realistic and impactful goals. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for keeping that on the forefront of our discussions, and I appreciate you speaking to us. Is there any other public comment out there? So, seeing none, thank you ladies so much. Thank you very much. At this point, we'll now move to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Jola and Board of Education. As everyone knows, we are getting ready for the first day of school. We have less than 2 weeks to go. And so our district leadership team met on Monday for our welcome back. It's a team of almost 40 leaders working across the district in various departments and school sites. And out of those 40, we have 10 people in new leadership roles. So it was a great day of team building, working on leadership skills, and then also looking at our strategic plan framework and aligning work that happens in departments at sites to that larger framework. And then schools are getting ready for their welcome back orientations and events. And it's best if families check the school website or call the school if they have questions. But there are orientations and special events for kindergartners, sixth graders, and our high school freshmen at all of those transition points. And then our high school sports teams have already been out there practicing. And this Friday and Saturday, we have some of the first scrimmages and games happening for soccer, volleyball, and football. So things are getting going, and August 29th is the first day of school. And I know families are starting to gear up and starting to purchase backpacks and think about first day of school outfits. And one thing that families can do now is, and kind of check this off, is the annual data confirmation. And families access that process through the parent portal in Aries, and it leads them through reviewing handbooks and important yearly updates. And most importantly, they update their contact information and their emergency contact information. So we always want the most up to date. And also, sometimes families have questions about school supplies at this time of year. And a huge thanks to our generous community that supports Measure AA. Because of Measure AA, there really are minimal school supplies that our families need to purchase. So that is always very welcome. And finally, we welcome back all staff next Friday on August 25th to our conference and convocation day. It's a full day of professional learning. Staff will listen to a keynote speaker who's going to talk about what it means to really reach all of our students based on their experience in a different district. And then staff have been choosing breakout sessions. So we're very excited for that day. And at the end of the day, we kind of finalize the whole event with the Excellence in Education annual recognition of our incredible staff. They'll be announcing the Linda Brown Fellows and the Star Award recipients at the very end of the day. So we're excited for school to start, and we're counting down. I believe we're at 13 days, not counting today.
Wow, thank you for that. Were there any comments or from the board? Okay. Thank you, that is exciting. I know, I can't believe we're already there. Moving to 9.0 grant. Superintendent Kramer.
I'm going to invite up Laura Brown and Julie. Oh, no, and sorry, Julie, I forgot, blanked on your last name. Hopkins from the Excellence of Education Foundation, and they're going to present to us all the grants, the money for the grants from last spring.
Hi, my name is Julie Hopkins. I am the chair of the Grant Giving Committee for Excellence in Education. I am here tonight to present a check for this year's grant cycle. Our mission at Excellence in Education is to enhance education by strengthening the learning experience for students in the TTUSD district. Our grant process begins each year in February with the opening of our grant portal for teachers. They typically have about 6 weeks to submit their grants. After all grants are submitted, the principals approve the grants to make sure there is alignment with the school and district vision and that there isn't other funding already available for the grants. Each school's individual site council reviews and ranks these grants. We don't always fund based on the rankings, but it does give us a good eye as to what the priorities and the focus are for that school. Each school has a site liaison who is also an Excellence in Education board member. These liaisons get to know the grants in and out throughout this process and are able to present their school's grants at our grant committee meeting in May. This is the meeting where the committee discusses the grants and makes funding decisions. This year, we received 66 total grant applications and were able to fund all but 2. We funded 59 grants for TTUSD, totaling nearly $165,000, and 5 grants for cells, totaling over $9,000. Themes that we saw this year include a return to manipulatives and hands-on learning. These type of asks did go away during the COVID years, but now they are starting to return, which is very exciting. We continue to see social emotional support tools also, including more heart math stations and rocking chairs for the Wellness Center at Glenshire Elementary. Our other grant highlights include a journalism grant for podcasting and vlogging equipment, which I was personally excited about because I love podcasts. And I think that's great to get these kids into that. We also funded a knee, which sounds really odd. It's not real, it's fake. A knee for the sports medicine pathway at North Tahoe High School. Real Care Babies for the adulting class at Truckee High. Additional instruments for North Tahoe High School. And we also had a $21,000 ask for musical instruments at Truckee High that we were able to split with the TTUSD Musical Instruments Fund. We also funded a new kiln for Truckee High and books, lots and lots of books. One grant in particular really excited our committee, and me personally as well. It was for fly fishing equipment to participate in a cultural exchange with the Paiute tribe of Pyramid Lake. It was an incredible experience for North Tahoe High School students, but it just didn't fit our meet our grant criteria. Fortunately, there was a board member whose uncle did love the grant, and he supported it with his own family foundation and generously donated the $4,500 to cover that. So I am here tonight to ask the board to accept $164,521 in TTUSD grant funding. And also the $4,500 to support the Fly Fishing Club at North Lake Tahoe. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much.
I know, we need person. Hold it, or something.
I'm gonna get in there.
I know, come on in.
God,
Somebody needs to
so
accept that dough.
exciting. Wow, so exciting. That's a lot of money. I don't think I've ever seen that. Cool. So let's put that check. Where do we go?
I know, well, I have the real ones too. I was gonna say, I'm not sure how far you get at the bank with that.
Even with your name on it?
Right? And I do believe, I think in your backup, you all received a breakout,
Yes.
both like an Excel
Yeah.
spreadsheet as well as a quick narrative or brief narrative on each of the grants. I do encourage you to get the chance to take a look because there are some pretty phenomenal grant requests coming in from the staff. in our school district.
It's impressive. There's a lot of grants here. Really nice work, yeah.
I will say that, Pat, with that same comment, and Laura, a comment that I'll just jump in quickly, is 66 is a lot. I don't know what it has been in the past, but the fact that we did 64 is crazy. And then the fact that as you look through it, because I was just trying to see, are there all the same people doing it? And there are some new people that are doing it, and there's some ones that are just crazy out of the box, but I really think that that's where we're at right now. We're changing, as you said, manipulatives are coming back, but there's so many things now that thank goodness you're here to help us sort of repilot those things again and get us back on or try something brand new. And it's been really cool to see the diversity. There's so many different things that you guys have taken care of that we would have never had a chance to touch, like river ecology, and marine biology. Like, these are great things.
Something that I found really neat with this grant cycle as well is we had quite a few grant requests from Alder Creek Middle School with teachers that were wanting to implement new ACEs rotations, which at ACMS they had the ACEs rotations, and there was robotics and all sorts of different things where they were trying to grow, or you could tell if they are trying to grow those programs. And
Can you get closer to? Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you.
And then likewise, one I loved that drew a lot of conversation was, I think it's a nearly $35,000 grant for Real Care Babies at Truckee High School for the a section of the adulting class, and they are.
Trying to put the STEP program out of business.
I know, right? Well, yes.
So-
Kindly, yes.
Curious,
Yes.
how many-
So anyhow, pardon me.
I'm sorry, I'm just curious how many babies that.
That buys.
I think that was 12 babies. I want to say it was a dozen babies, plus it includes, they have charging stations because they are computerized, because if you leave them in the car or don't tend to them often enough, they cry, they do what babies do. So they are truly computerized. So it comes with a whole, storage case and kit, and they recharge, and I know, it is wild. I do remember years ago we funded babies at North Tahoe High School, but I believe, I'm not sure if they were computerized at that point, but we figured, yes, it is.
Yeah, same.
in high school, I did too.
Yeah, exactly. Eggs. Yeah, exactly. Egg babies.
At the beginning, and they waited when we brought it back at the end of the 2 weeks. That's how we got graded. How much did
Make
that
sure you
flour
didn't
weigh?
lose.
It's horrible.
I love it.
So much though, didn't it?
Awesome.
Laura, I do have a question.
Yes.
A couple of years back, I remember that the grants submission was in the fall, and Excellence in Ed made a very purposeful decision to move it to after Christmas break. Do you notice more grants now than you did when you were requiring them in the fall?
I think it's probably about the same. We've surveyed and resurveyed teachers. We actually just surveyed teachers again last year asking about the timing. The challenge with the fall is by the time, well, first of all, fall being so busy.
Right.
And then the funding didn't come available till, as you said, end of December or even the start of January. And a lot of the grants that we now are funding are also tied to software. And so what we were finding is teachers were then halfway through the school year, so they really only had about half a year to implement that grant because it's a whole new group of kids in the fall. So we shifted it, and so we run the grant cycle in the spring with the funding coming available now, so it's in the correct fiscal year. We have talked about and, are entertaining the idea of, small, maybe a small grant cycle in the fall, because we also realize there are needs that come up in the fall time period as well. But pretty overwhelmingly, teachers said they like it better in the spring. I think it just gives a little more time to think and plan. That said, with changes, it always makes it a little challenging, so staffing changes.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's
Yeah, well,
amazing.
thank you.
Thank you. Any other board comments or questions? Danielle? Thank you.
Just that this is an amazing foundation, the fundraising that you guys do, the ability to fund all these grants. It's just reflective of our greater community and how willing everyone is to put their efforts behind education, which I think is awesome. So good work.
Definitely, thank you.
Kirsten, you good? Okay, good. All right. Thank you guys ladies, thank you very, very much. That was huge.
Yeah. So I think, do you need to accept the funds, or do we say?
I think we have an action item, so at this point, would someone please make a motion to accept the Excellence in Education Spring Grants?
I will make the motion to accept the Excellence in Education Foundation Spring Grants.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Wow, thank you. Action.
Gracias.
Wow, that was cool. Okay, thank you. I apologize, my mic was not on, so thank you for the approval of that. Moving to the consent agenda, does staff have any items they wish to pull from the agenda that's consented?
No, President Gerler, not tonight.
Board, does anyone have any ones they'd like to pull? With that being said, there's a no on that. Let's bring this back to a motion. Would someone care to make a motion?
I'll move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. And moving now on to the next info action item, the educational services. Superintendent Kramer?
Yes, I'm going to turn it over to our Assistant Superintendent of Educational Service, Logan Maloney, to speak to this item.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer. President Driller and Board of Trustees, tonight I am bringing the 23-24 revised master plan for English learner services to you as an action item. The master plan for English learner services requires annual board approval, and at the last board meeting, our District English Learner Advisory Committee, DLAC, shared their feedback, comments, and concerns from last school year. Based on those recommendations by DLAC, and from site principals, site ELD coordinators, and the support of Placer County Office of Education, Educational Services has revised this year's plan. Most important to the plan, and I'm going to quote it, is that, quote, each English learner receives a program of instruction in English language development, ELD, to develop proficiency in English, listening, speaking, reading, and writing as rapidly and as effectively as possible. ELD lessons are differentiated to be appropriate for English learners varying identified levels of language proficiency and to assist ELs in acquiring the linguistic competencies that native English speakers already possess when they enter school and continue developing throughout life, quote. Other highlights from the updated plan include a new placement, enter, and exit criteria for newcomers at the high school level, and that academic discourse will be a predominant focus during professional development for the 23-24 school year in order to improve and refine Tier 1 integrated ELD instruction in all general education classrooms throughout our entire district. These revisions align with our new TTUSD strategic plan area of focus of academic achievement, committing to provide effective evidence-based instruction for all students to pursue pathways of personal interest and to earn a high school diploma. It is staff's recommendation that the Board of Trustees approve this year's plan. Are there any questions or comments from the Board of Trustees?
Thank you, Assistant Superintendent Logan Melanie of Educational Services. Any board comments? Yes.
Just one, just being a new board member, I really enjoyed the presentation that we had at the last meeting, because I think coming from the outside, not kind of understanding how much effort goes into supporting our students, this was really eye-opening for me. So I really enjoyed reading all the details and kind of understanding all the work that goes into it.
I will agree with that as well. Thank you very much for that, and I do think that we've come a long way, and I will then move this to the board for a vote.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the master plan for English Learning Services for 23-24.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you for that. Moving on to personnel, Superintendent Kramer?
Yes, and for these next 4 items, we will ask our Executive Director of Human Resources, Mr. Michael Shepard, to speak to those.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer, President Driller, members of the board. This job description is a minor revision, well, not minor in title. It's retitling it Early Learning Site Supervisor. And there's also a couple of change in the job description to it. This is not a management position, it's a classified. So this incumbent supervises the activities to make sure they're in compliance and help distributes the workload. And that is the extent of these changes. So I'm open to any questions that you may have.
Thank you for that. Are there any board questions or comments on this item? I think I had a question that I asked you that earlier in the homework. So with that,
I'll move to approve the job description for the early learning site supervisor.
I'll second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you for that. The next item, I think, is back to you as well.
Yes, Mr. Shepard.
Thank you. This item is also a minor revision to a job description for registered behavior technician that you approved recently on June 21st. This minor correction brings this from range 13 to range 14. And so with that, I will also entertain any questions you have.
Thank you. Any board comments or questions on this revision? I'll bring it back for a motion.
I'll move to approve the revisions to the job description for the registered behavior technician.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 And aye. Thank you. And 13.3.
Yes, Mr. Shepard.
Thank you. This is also a minor revision to the assistive technology technician description that you recently approved also on June 21st. And this is a correction to increase the range from range 13 to 14. So with that, any questions?
Questions from the board? I do have one comment, and I do appreciate the fact that you have mentioned that we had already approved this, and then we are making it a revision to something that was already there. So it's always nice to know where we came from and what we did and why it's just a revision as opposed to a new job title. And with that, I'll make a motion to approve the job description for the assistive technological technician.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. I apologize for that stumble. Job description, poor guy, girl. Okay, Superintendent Kramer, back to you.
Yes, Mr. Shepherd, please.
And the last item from HR tonight is as you just approved these last three changes, we now bring you the salary schedule that is updated to reflect the changes you just approved. So with that, any questions?
Board? I'm very happy to say that we love seeing raises, which is awesome. Thank you very much. Would anyone care to make a motion for 13.4?
I'll move to approve the revisions to the classified salary schedule.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Moving on to 14.0, Business Services, Superintendent Geisels. Oh, goodness, Superintendent Kramer.
For this item, I will be asking our Assistant Superintendent, Chief Business Officer, Mr. Todd Rivera, to speak.
Thank you, Superintendent Kramer, President Driller, and members of the board. So this is asking for your approval for an agreement with Rexmore Group, which is an electrical contractor to install security cameras. And just a little bit more background on that. We actually just finished replacing all of the existing security cameras within the district, both inside and exterior of the building, and that was due to the fact that our former security cameras were no longer going to be supported by Cisco. So that was something that we embarked on about a year ago. We had to wait a little while for the cameras. In addition to the existing camera replacement, we also ordered an additional 50. And the technology department has worked with the sites to strategically place the additional 50 cameras at multiple sites, and that's what this contract is for. It's related to the additional 50 cameras that we're installing, and that includes essentially the installation of it, but also pulling of data lines to those no camera systems.
Thank you for that. And are there any board questions or comments on our security camera updates? Would anyone care to make a motion to approve 14.1?
I'll move to approve the agreement with Rexmore Group for district-wide camera installation.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, thank you. I think I'm going to go right back to you, Superintendent Kramer.
Yes, and Mr. Rivera will also speak to this item.
Thank you. So per Ed Code, prior to a school district being allowed to dispose or sell of any obsolete or unused property, the board is required to declare that property surplus. So today we're asking you to declare surplus several different items that are currently unused by the district or obsolete.
Great. And then I was just looking to see what it was, because I don't think I actually saw that. Any questions or comments from the board? And would anyone care to make a motion to approve the declaration of lists, 14.2? I'll make a motion, sorry.
Reading the list.
I'll make a motion to approve 14.2 to declare the list of equipment to be surplus or estimated values.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, thank
Aye.
you. Oh, aye, I missed you.
Can I ask a question after the fact? Are any of these items overhead projectors by any chance? Because I know a teacher who would use one.
Did you say
Yeah.
overhead protectors?
Yeah.
Oh, projectors. No, but we have
Protectors.
surplused quite a few of those over the
Okay,
years.
I'll let that teacher know.
We'll see, we'll check the warehouse, see if we have anything.
That is so funny, that's awesome. Okay, we are moving to 15.0 board business. I'm going to start with Superintendent Kramer to lead us on this one.
Yes, this item is to set our board meeting dates for the 2024 calendar year, so starting in January of 2024 all the way through December. And this just helps the staff plan and allow us to have people sign up for school showcases and so on. So if you would take a look at that calendar, and President Driller, this is an action item as well.
Okay.
This reflects the changes or the feedback that you received, right? Okay.
Yes, this should be up to date. Just double check from the conversations and feedback that you had given staff.
Correct, thank you for that. It looks like we have just 3 months, July, August, and December, where there's 1, and then everyone else has 2. Any comments? Does everyone see that? That looks all right? All right, that is an action item, so would anyone want to make a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve the 2024 TTUSD board meeting calendar as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, thank you. That moves us to 15.2. Holy camole. Comments of board members. No, Chris, would you like to go first?
Sure. Is that because I was talking?
Yeah.
Ms. Hennessy, do you have anything else to share with the classroom?
Dang it.
Let's see. Well, I just want to acknowledge the youth that spoke. And is this something our board wants to consider, to have someone, or, see, I thought you
Yeah.
were already working with them, and so I was a little confused, but it wasn't officially assigned, so do we want to talk about that?
It was that I had just initiated a conversation because they had reached out, and then I let Carmen at the time know, just because that's somewhat in the world of work that I do already, so I
Yeah.
was fairly comfortable, but it's kind of, I mean, I'm fine if we want to do that.
I think that, I mean, if that's something that, I appreciate you bringing that up, and if that's something you're comfortable with that, I had that note from before that we would love to have you be a, and that's, yeah, what is it, would be official, just say, they asked for a liaison between the board.
Yeah, because I think we still have a presentation to the board coming.
Right.
Where we'll get some background context and information on what's already happening within the district. And so then I think it's the conversations that happen, after we've been all equally educated on the same information. So, and I'm happy to do that.
So I think also you're on that email for the meetings for the climate, the client, or the Climate Alliance, or isn't there a meeting that have monthly meetings?
I am not sure if I've gotten those.
Okay, because I think I was on it originally, and then I think I will, so I'll make a note to make you have that. Okay.
And then is there district staff that's involved already or needed? Or, I'm trying to refresh my memory, and I was a little uncomfortable with the reference to the legal case. I'm not sure why that was brought up, but I am acknowledging it if you young ladies are watching. But we, I know, had the intent to continue forward even before that was brought up. At least
Yes.
that was my understanding as a board member.
The students and some of the adults that support them got a chance to meet with me in June and kind of talked about the facilities master plan process that we're in the midst of, and just different ideas that they have. And so our goal is to have student voice be included in that process. And sustainability has been identified as a priority through the community input and different partners with the facility master plan. So I think it's all going to come together really well, but we want to make sure that the students have a chance to share their voice and, come and share public comment and have a chance to meet with Trustee Nishimori.
Okay, great. Yeah, so, okay, and then the only other thing I wanted to share is I attended toward the late afternoon for about an hour, the parent workshop at Kings Beach Elementary, and got a chance to talk with staff a little bit more and connect with some parents, and it's just well done from what I saw. And apparently, the day before at Truckee L, it was also really well attended by parents, and especially later in the day. And so I was very happy that we were able to provide that for our community.
Thank you. Board member has, Clerk Hennessy. Kirsten.
Oh, I don't have any comments this evening, thank you.
Pat Mooney.
Nothing today, thank you.
Same. Just excited that school's going to start soon.
I know, you're
Back to
right.
routine, right? Back to routine.
Gosh, okay, so I did attend a CSBA legislative board president update today, and I took notes on all the holy moly, bills that are out there, the ABs and the SBs, and there's a lot of things that are out there that are on the floor. They have another, I think they said that they are the last home stretch for this legislative period, and there are probably 10 bills that will directly affect school boards, and there are some interesting things that may or may not, or that may get passed that are not necessarily in our favor. And so it was very interesting learning how they navigate some of the CSBA's positioning was, how do they navigate, this isn't going to, we don't want this, but how do we make it so we can get something out of it that's positive? And just a lot of different things. So we'll get some more of that information as it comes out, but it was something that I had never been to those meetings. And there weren't that many of us, but CSBA does have on their website, which might be something to look into, is what are the bills we're working on that would affect our districts? And obviously, we're different than some of the other districts or some of the other places, but it did indicate that that is a good place just to look at and to see, and then which ones that they're sort of following. And it gives CSBA's position on them, so like if they're for them or against them, which is interesting. And then that was that. And then the other thing I did, what else did I do that was, well, I have definitely been mountain biking with our middle school and high school kids. And then last week, we did a Truckee and Tahoe City mountain bike team effort where we came over here. And our team, we split up and we had all of our kids together, which I thought was just awesome. Our mountain bike kids are out of control. They're so good. It's crazy. I shouldn't be out there, but they are crazy. And then, what else did I do? Anything else? Okay, what else? I can't remember what else I did. I tried to write it out. I am very excited to say that I will not be here next month, and Clerk Hennessy will be helping out, as well as Chris in the back. I appreciate all that. And I think I'm looking forward to the new Educators Academy. That's our next thing. Welcome, our new people. We're very happy to have you here. And we'll see you guys on, I am practicing. I have not written it out, but I do have a speech. Not sure really where it is. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.